Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles. Make sure and click like and subscribe on this video. We are in a different location. Hear the echo. We're at Kurt's house. He has these really tall, high ceilings because this place used to be a church. And now it houses a bunch of heathens like us. And snakes. So maybe it was that kind of, maybe we could, ooh, I got it, Kurt. We're going to start doing church services here again. We'll get some of the dudes like from way down like South Arkansas and Alabama, and we'll walk around some timber rattlesnakes and be all cool and shit. But it's a really cool place. So if you're ever down here and you get a chance to see this, it's actually really awesome. But we're going to continue our series on how to spend your money. So we're going to keep spending $5,000. Today, each one of us, in the same order that we did before, is going to release the second half of our project. That'll include 1 male and 3 females. So it'll be a total of 2 males and 6 females, which is basically 2 separate projects that you can get into in today's market for $5,000 or less. That doesn't include any negotiations, and it doesn't include any shipping. So the shipping would add more, negotiations may bring it down, maybe, but that's what we're going to do. And first up is Caleb. So I'm going to get out of the way and let Caleb talk to you about his second set of snakes.
So if you remember, my first project was clown and jungle almost, kind of what I was really diving into. So I'm going to do it a little different this time, and I'm going to go with more clowns. So my first clown for $800 I'm picking up is a pastel spot nose clown from Forgotten Coast Reptiles. I really like spot nose and clown. It adds a lot of pattern, especially when you start throwing in yellow belly, which we'll see what I'm going to do with that later on. And it just makes it look really nice. I really don't. Pastel's nice because pastel clowns as babies look really good. They don't really look great as adults. So I'm not really caring about that. That was just an extra kicker gene because I had some extra money to throw in and figured why not. My next snake is going to be a female. It is a fire leopard het clown that I got for $500, and this one's going to be from Bradford Cole. So fire leopard het clown, that one's actually a really nice looking one. It's got the nice expression of leopard in there. I really like that, and it's really bright. You can really see the fire. It's pretty good fire in there. So really looking for Batmans there with fire and pastel in there. So really can't go wrong there. Everyone likes Batmans. And really to get into that project for $1,300 with between the male and the female, really not bad. And then my other female that I've got that I'm really excited, this is probably one of my favorite ones, red striped cinnamon yellow belly het clown. So it's cinnamon instead of black pastel, but if you're listening closely to all those ingredients, I have a chance to hit Pompeii's, which are probably by far one of the prettiest looking clowns. Lots of reds to them, lots of pattern, all kinds of things like that. Even if I don't, hit the Pompeii, red stripe, yellow belly, spot nose clowns would be really awesome with the magma. Just a lot of pattern, a lot of reds, things you just can really add on to that in the future by adding banana in there, I think would be really awesome. And then lastly, my last female, this one's gonna be more of a project that is pushing a project further. So I picked up from BHB Reptiles a fire ghost het clown. So I have half my stuff will be clowns that are 100% het for ghosts, which I can hold back quite a bit there and get into double recessive pretty easily. And for her, I only paid $300. So could really jump into the double recessives for pretty low cost. All in all, I came out to $27.50 for that partial project. So I came out like $25 under that total $5,000 for these 6 snakes. So I'm probably gonna take that $25, go buy a Coke, and watch the comment section say I win at all these projects. Next, I believe, is Curtis.
Hey YouTube, it's my turn. And in my last project, if you can remember, I was picked Sunset for my main gene, and then the add to kicker genes I have for that. And in this project, I actually picked another recessive, and I picked genetic stripe. I really like the back pattern and what it does to them. So genetic stripe is going to be in all of them. Some of them are going to be visual. Like with Sunset, I couldn't afford anything visual. These I actually can afford the visual ones. And then since I spent so much money on my first project, I ended up having to get like a het or 2, I think, in this one too. But for my male, I ended up spending $750, and he is a Orange Dream pastel genetic stripe. So he's a visual, and I got him from Royal Constriction Design. And the thing about him is I got the Orange Dream this one right here, in there to where I wasn't able to get that in my sunset just because on the ones I had to pick from. My next one is a calico het genetic stripe with the 50% het of being desert ghost, which with percentages, I'm really not going to bank on any of that. And none of the stuff I have has desert ghost in it at all. This one I picked up for $300. So let me find the picture. It's hard, I have them all on my phone. Maybe I don't have a picture of that one.
Do you remember where it came from?
Yeah, I have it on the thing.
That'll be good enough. We know what a calico should look like.
Reptiles, or Royal Reptiles from New Jersey. Then the second one is going to be a pastel genetic stripe. So my first one it's an orange green pastel, so I'll be able to do like some super pastel ones. And I have a picture of that one. And that one was $250. And that one came from the Pureland Reptiles.
Yeah, okay, someplace in Iowa.
Yeah. And then my third one, I spent $200 on because that's all the money I had left. I ended up spending the whole $5,000 on everything. It was a big struggle trying to do that because of Matt. And I ended up just getting a genetic stripe, or a het genetic stripe. I didn't even get any genes with that. That one I got, oh no, it's actually a visual genetic stripe. But that one came from Reptile Ryan's Exact Exotics out of Missouri. And I think I have a picture of that one. Yeah, so it's just the genetic stripe.
Says it's on hold. Did you really buy it?
No, I wish I did. So basically, genetic stripe is what I'm going for. Then I'll have the orange dream, the pastel, and the calico to work with on kicker genes. Hopefully, I don't know. A genetic stripe is a gene that I've really kind of looked at, and I don't know why we had never got into it. We just never had the chance to buy it. But it's one that has actually come down in prices, because I picked up a visual ones for around $300 up to $800 is what I was seeing them for. But there's my project. Out of the whole thing, I spent the whole $5,000. I don't have anything left over. It's all gone. So I think up next is Matt.
Hey, now it's me that's up, and I'm going to tell you about my project. So before I get into what I've chose today, I want to tell you a little bit, remind you of how great what I chose first was. You know, everybody else went with recessive, so did I. So my first one, like Kurt, I spent a lot of money on my first project, saving my second project for kind of a passion project. That first project, I set myself up to make a lot of visual desert ghost and a lot of ivory and a lot of freeway, meaning ivories, freeways, and then freeway desert ghost, which y'all I can't miss on. So I picked a project to fund the things I want to do long term, and now I'm going to pick a project with my remaining money to have a lot of fun with. Kurt blamed me for running out of money. Like him, I struggled to keep the budget under $5,000, but that was kind of the point of having a $5,000 budget. If we give everybody a $15,000 budget to put this together, then you start getting to a, $5,000 just seemed like a good number that if somebody was dedicated, even if they weren't in the best of situations, that they could say, hey, I'm going to pull that together over the course of some time and invest in this. And that's why we wanted to start with that number. But it does make it difficult sometimes to keep everything when you're talking 8 animals. If you really break that down, $100 an animal would have been $800, so 200 would have been 16, 324. You're looking at about $600 an animal on average cost. And trying to get into a bunch of recessive projects that we all did with that being your cost of having kicker genes, it gets pretty tight. You have to do some budgeting. So let's share with what I got into. The first one I'm going to show you is my male. Now, this is listed, and because I want to win, like Caleb, I decided to get you guys a nice, fancy, bigger screen. This is an Axanthic het pied. It's 100% het pied. That's honestly not going to matter for what I'm doing. I'm more worried about the Axanthic. It says it's a possible leopard. I'll be honest, I'm not seeing the leopard in there off these pictures, so I'm not going to bank on the leopard. The Axanthic is pretty clear, though. Let me make sure I'm going the right way. Yes, and I got him for $240, and he came from wherever this was. Oh, Candy Morphs. So thank you, Candy, or if you just call it Candy and your name's not Candy, whoever you are. Thank you for that. Let's go on to the, oh God, I lost it. That's not good. It's back, it's back. That was almost terrible. Let's go to the next one here. So this next one here, and again, I'm going to sound like I'm pulling a Kurt. I got a pastel Inchy Het SK Axanthic ball python. I couldn't do across the board visuals. Oh, stupid menu. I couldn't do across the board visuals because of the fact I would have ran out of money. So I had to go with some hets. Now this is still going to produce nice. We're going to get Inchy Axanthics, pastel Inchy Axanthics, and all of that head as well. And I got that from, it was Powerline Reptiles is who we got that from. And we spent, I don't remember, $250 on that. So again, I'm having to stay within budget. Now, our next one here, we went a little bit higher cost. We're still looking at things that are going to be hets. This is a pastel butter or pastel lesser, whichever one you want to go with, Inchy. So I have 3 genes in there, 100% het SK Axanthic, 66% chance of het clown. Now again, I don't care about the het clown portion. It doesn't play a role. My male having het pied means everything will be 50% het pied. If I was breeding these babies out, once I had offspring from this, I would not even include the het clown as a possibility. If I'm breeding a 66% het clown unproven to a non-het clown other one, it gets so watered down, I'm not even going to add it in. So, we'll just call it what it is. But that's going to make some, again, pastel Axanthic, pastel lesser Axanthic. I really want lesser in my Axanthic stuff, along with some Inchy. So like everything's going to flow through there. It's going to be really nice. I am not cuckoo, despite what the clock says. And we got that one through Morningstar Exotics. And that one was a cost of $400. So again, now we're running out of money. So now it's getting really tight. But even though it's really tight, I was able to find this snake. And I had like 40 bucks, I think, left over or something like that at the end of the whole deal. Not a whole lot. And this is a pastel Axanthic, so I wanted one clutch that's going to be all visuals. It's just going to be Axanthics and pastel Axanthics, nothing crazy in there, but it's going to get her foot in the door, her foot in the game. And then with all the other genes we have running around in there, about the only thing I'd really want to bring to my Axanthic right now that I wasn't able to get in this budget was something like fire. But otherwise, I'm very, very happy with everything I found. That's a really nice looking pastel Axanthic. And we were able to get that from, well, I don't know if I got their name in there. I might have screwed that up when I took the picture. Maybe it's on here. And it's not. Somehow I missed that name. But we got it for $425 from a really nice person who I'm going to apologize to out of Acton, California. So I didn't get their name in there. Maybe it's on the next slide. Oh God, no, that's a Gaboon Viper eating stuff. So there's some eye candy for you. So make sure and vote for me because there's a Gaboon Viper eating stuff on mine and nobody else's. But really, truthfully, guys, as we're kind of winding this down, there's one more video yet to go. We want to hear your opinions of what you like, but then we're going to really break down what the production would be from this if we played this out for real. If we bought all the animals, we got them all ready, we had 6 eggs of pops, we'd have 6, 12, 18 in one project, 6, 12, 18 in another project, what we would get on the odds. We've talked about how to do that, how to film that, and make it really fair, to see what would be there, and it'll be just from a financial standpoint. We're not going to include holdbacks, although if you were planning long term, you need to include your holdbacks when you do this, because I can tell you on my Axanthic stuff, there'd be a lot of things I would hold back from that to increase what I wanted to do down the road. When you hear Caleb talking about his projects, he's talking about double recessives and holdbacks. So when you make these projects, you are usually looking at that down the road. Kurt especially, he's working some het-to-het stuff, so he's definitely going to hold back the first visuals. But when we run this out, we're going to run it from a purely financial standpoint. But I want you to understand that if you are really doing any of these projects, the numbers that we're going to quote you on sales in our next video, you're not going to actually get, because you're going to be putting the best stuff, you're you're gonna be your own best customer, right? If you're wanting to grow. But it's a good way to see what that 5,000 can still turn into given 6 years. And of course, it's not going to include things like electrical cost, water cost, rat cost, all of that. You have to take that out as well. But that's where we're going next. And make sure and check out our Patreon too, because you'll kind of hear us each talk about these projects, where we'll talk about the other person's project. Kurt, anything you want to add?
Nope.
Caleb, anything you want to add?
Nope.
All right, like, subscribe, check out the Patreon. It helps us a ton. And we're going to hop up off here. And the next time you see one of these videos in this series, we'll finish it up and we'll tell you how it all played out. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.